How's everybody doing today? So, today I am going to talk about this knife that I've been carrying for a while. I picked this up when it dropped. I can't remember exactly when that was. I believe it was about a couple months ago. This is the Berg Blades Tick. A really cool knife by Berg Blades, OEM by Riot. I've had a good experience with this knife overall, and I'm going to talk about some of the things I liked about it. Who I think this knife would be good for, and just to give you an overall idea of whether or not this would be something that you would be interested in. So, yeah, let's get into it. So this is the Berg Blades Tick, like I said. In the box you get some stickers and a few other things. Nice little box, some magnetic clasp, kind of cool. But I like the stuff that I've tried from Berg Blades. Like I said, it is OEM by Riot, so the quality is pretty good, really good actually. And I have 3 of his knives currently that I own, and may buy more. I don't know, but I've been pretty happy with this guy. So, like I said, this is the Berg Blades Tick. I went for the it's like a bead blasted, stone washed. Well, no, I think it's a stone wash finish on maybe both. Let me see if it says sandblast. Okay, so sandblast handle, stonewash blade. They did have this version, this tick in multiple variants. Some had carbon fiber inlays, some had micarta. I went for this, which is really cool. This is like a white micarta, they call it. I guess it's like a linen micarta, maybe. I don't know. I just thought it was really neat. Like the look of it a little bit better than the green micarta. I've got the green micarta Sweeney, so I do like that as well. But this was kind of different, kind of unique. This also has a little pivot collar around the pivot. It's not, the pivot you can loosen or tighten on both sides, so it's not a captive pivot like some knives. But I'm okay with that. It didn't bother me at all. The hardware is pretty minimal. As you can see, it's a pretty clean looking knife. The blade steel is S90V. It has a nice fuller that runs along the top. I will say the satin finish looked pretty good on this knife. So I was kind of like, do I want the? I don't have a whole lot of stonewash finishes, so I went ahead and got the stonewash finish just to have something a little bit different. Plus, this knife just screams user. It's a chunky knife. It's solid. It's really made to be used, is from what I can see. Yeah. So the blade length on this knife is 3.5 inches. The knife overall is pretty close to 8 inches. I can't remember exactly, but I think it's right at about 8 inches. I'll get a quick weight on this guy for you guys. It's a little bit on the heavier side, but it doesn't bother me. Yeah, 4.7 ounces. But I don't care about that. That's still very light. There is some internal milling on the scales. And there is also a titanium lock bar with a steel lock bar insert. So ceramic detent ball. So we went over the size and some of the features. Oh, it's got a nice back spacer, no lanyard hole. Pocket clip is awesome. It is kind of long, but as far as comfort in the hand, there's no hot spots whatsoever. It is perfectly rounded and smooth. No sharp edges. Very good job on the pocket clip, and it works in and out of the pocket extremely well. Very happy with the pocket clip on this knife. It's one of the best pocket clips that I've used, and it's got hidden hardware too, which is kind of cool. It screws in from the inside. Yeah, it's a really nice looking knife. I like the clip point blade, a nice swedge up here, and the fuller's really good looking too. So, they just did a good job with it. It's not like super gaudy or anything. It's just, pretty clean looking knife, and it's really comfortable. The handle is contoured, as you can see, and like I said, everything is knocked down really smooth, very comfortable. It does have this little hump here, but I find that 2 of my fingers go right in there, and then the other 2 right behind it, and it just feels right. It feels really nice. And I guess you could technically choke back on it a little bit if you wanted. And you can also choke up because it has a finger choil, and it's not huge, but it's decent size. It's definitely a usable choil for your finger. The flipper tab is kind of low profile, so it doesn't stick out a whole lot. So that you just have a lot of options with this knife as far as how you want to hold it, how you want to use it. It doesn't hurt either that the action is just amazing. It was great when I got it. I went ahead and put skiff bearings in it. They do actually have a multi-row skiff option for the Berg blades tick, which I thought was kind of cool because I've got, like I said, a couple of his other knives, the Sweeneys, and they're the full-size Sweeneys, and they take the same bearings as like a lot of the Sharp by Design knives. I believe it's a 5mm, 3/16, yeah, 5mm. I don't know, 3/16 maybe. I can't remember, but they don't have the multi-row option for some of the other knives. But I guess because this is maybe a little bit of a bigger knife, broader knife, they had a little more room in there. It does have a cutout in the blade for the stop. I thought it had channels that run in there and stops on either side of the blade. That's not the case. It's got a channel inside the blade where the stop pin runs in there, so the stop pin doesn't hit anywhere on here, which is nice if you wanted to change this a little bit. The plunge is a little bit close to the edge, probably about right there. So you probably got a little bit, but they could have done a little bit better and backed it up. But Riot tends to do that for some reason. They did do a better job on this newer version of the Sweeney than the older version of the Sweeney. It gives you a little bit more than what they gave you. The other one was really thick down here. I'll do some size comparisons on this to give you an idea too. So like I said, this is his other design, one of his other designs, the Sweeney. So, it's a little bit bigger in every aspect. I'll put it up against the PM3. Pretty Para 3. I'm sorry. I've done that in other videos too, and I don't know why I do that. It is the Para 3, not the PM3. My bad. So quite a bit longer than the Para 3. Quite a bit more blade as well. So there's some size comparisons. I'll do some closed size comparisons as well so you guys can get an idea. This wasn't, it was nice to carry in the pocket. It's a little bit, obviously more than the Sweeney, but I didn't find it to be noticeably large or heavy. It was a good carry as far as I'm concerned. So close size comparisons. Yeah. So just a tad longer than the Sweeney, and then, quite a bit taller, maybe half-inch taller. And actually not quite as tall as the Para 3, and a little bit longer. So not a huge knife, but you do get quite a bit of blade and cutting edge on this guy. So I did talk a little bit about the action. The action's really good. The lockup is also, it's solid. It is solid. There's no play, no wiggle, no nothing, and I do like that in my pocket knives. I like a solid lockup. Action on the flipper tab is excellent. It's smooth, feels good. You can light switch it. If I don't put my hand on the lock bar. You can push button it. I'm probably not as comfortable, but you can do it. And then one of the really neat features about this knife is the fuller. So you can reverse flick off this fuller. You can get it down low. You can get it up high. And it just whacks out there. It's got a good sound, good solid clunk. And it reverse flicks really easy. Just as easy as a knife with a hole, to be honest. So if you like multiple forms of deployment, you're not going to be disappointed. The only thing, and you can, with maybe a little bit of practice, the thumb flick for me on this one doesn't work very well, but the reverse flick is so good, and the D10 is really nice. The action on those multi-row bearings is super smooth. There's no play anywhere. And this has this nice jimping up here, which I've never seen this on a pocket knife before. And I know it's not the first one with it, but where the jimping extends out over the frame and the blade, and I really like that. It's really nice. It's different. It looks really good, and I think it's a nice touch. So there's a lot of little details on this knife that just really impressed me, and I've been really happy carrying it. I can highly recommend this knife so far. I've done, mostly cutting of, I think I whittled some sticks and we were grilling some marshmallows with the grandson. And I've done I cut up an apple and pretty much every day with all my pocket knives. I usually have an apple in the morning and it slices really well. It does have a hollow ground blade. It is a little bit thicker on the blade stock, but like I said, it's hollow ground and it's sliced for my needs so far, really nice. So the inlays are perfectly, flush. There's no gaps or anything like that. It's just a really nice job on the inlays. And all you got here is his little Berg Blades logo as far as branding. It does say S90V right here, but it's really small. And also it has, let's see here. Yeah, this is number 20 of 30. So 30 of this variant was created. I'm sure that he will do another run of these. This is a really nice knife. It's sold out on all the retailers' websites. And I believe he did say he was going to do another run. I know you can find them on the secondary market. Blade Binge, I've seen a couple of them on there. There's probably a couple on eBay right now. So if you're still wanting this knife, you just have to hunt around a little bit for it, but you can still find it. I don't think any major retailers have any left, but I could be wrong about that. It may not hurt to check into it. Like I said, it's just a solid offering from Berg Blades and a knife that I plan on keeping. I mean, the detent is just really nice. It clicks into that detent or the closed position really nice. It holds it in there really nice. The blade's not going to come out on you. And the action, it just thwacks out there, and it's just fun to play with. This is a fidgety knife, and like I said, very ergonomic. The comfort level is probably 9 out of 10 on this knife. Yeah. So this is the Berg Blades Tick. Highly recommend this guy. Like I said, yeah. Well, I just wanted to share this review with you guys. I've been carrying this knife for, like I said, it's probably been off and on a couple months, month and a half, and it's seen a lot of pocket time for good reason. It's a good one. So like I said, thanks again everybody for joining me. You all have a wonderful day out there and take care.